Olá pessoal, tudo bem com vocês? Sejam bem-vindos! Mais um vídeo aqui no meu canal da Chiara na Inglaterra. Enfim, pessoal, hoje eu estou aqui porque eu vou partilhar um pouco com vocês um momento maravilhoso. Vou agora à minha universidade, chamada para fazer uma apresentação. Então, estou bem alegre e não posso esperar por aquilo que vem. Estou mesmo bem alegre, então vamos lá. Mas este vlog, espero que vocês deixem muito like aqui no meu canal. E eu já vou poder mostrar mais coisas quando nós formos, ok pessoal? Aqui vamos nós. Pessoal, já estou aqui. Os bons filhos voltam sempre a casa. Podem para o meu cartão de visitante. Tenho que pedir depois o cartão de alumni de pessoa que estudou aqui na universidade.
When I finished my degree in Venezuela, I thought life is all clear, everything is sorted. I got a bachelor, and then I asked the question, what's the next steps? And I was a bit lost. The reason I mentioned this is don't feel if you go through this same when you finish your degree, it's normal. It's your starting of your journey working as an engineer. So you still have a lot of to experience, a lot of to try, different industry, different opportunities. So it will be a normal feeling when you finish your bachelor degree. For me as well, it was mixed with country situation, these problems, all that. And at that time, I had two options. I either stay or look for a bigger challenge in other place. So then I took the decision to leave my country. So to look for a different challenge. For one reason, another one, this came with a lot of insecurities, unknown, but I knew if I persevered, it was gonna be worth it. So I decided to come to UK. So through friends, families, especially Maria, who helped me a lot with information about universities. So I hope this short presentation can inspire you a bit and just always keep you motivated that there's always a brighter future if you are at university.
Thank you. Wow, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think after that we can all go home. I'm joking. Well, my name is Shara Ngando. I started in 2017 at South Bank. I started on campus, which I did my foundation. It was 1 year, maybe 8 months. So I did my bachelor, which was 3 years, and then I had the chance to do my master's degree. And okay, you might think, oh, she did quite a lot here at LSBU. Well, one of the things that I will start to say, which helped me or encouraged me to go through those steps, was that after my foundation, because of my grades, they gave me a scholarship. So instead of paying the full price, imagine if the full price was like £50,000, they took me like £5,000 just because of the grades and because I also continued through foundation to my bachelor's, which was a great help. Afterwards, one of the things that really helped me also to continue was that LSBU, I don't know if you guys have seen, but there is a lot of extra services that LSBU provide. One of those were the LSBU Hub, which helps with the CV, if you need help with your, your statements to go through to start your master degree. And was at LSBU Hub that I could improve my CV, and at the same time I got a job, because they really help you. They really show you what you need to do. They really show you the websites you need to go through to apply. And one of those websites that actually, in fact, they are not working right now, but at the time I was active on that website, and one day I received I received the invitation or the job advert, which was like to get £15 an hour, and I was like, this is fake. Is that really true? And then I applied. The next day, I'm telling you, like 2 days after, they called me. Oh, we saw your application. Do you wanna come to have a talk? And we need someone to be a quality control here in our manufacturing. And then I said, oh, okay, that sounds good. I actually didn't know what was the factory about. I read it, but I was so excited I really didn't read, let's say. So I went to the interview. I talked about what I was doing at uni, and this was 2018 when I started at this company. And then they asked me, what are your plans? Do you like the company? And then I got approved. It didn't really take much. On a Monday, I got the interview on a Friday. On a Monday, they said, we need someone urgent. Can you come? I said, yes, of course. And then I signed the contract, and then everything is history. But this is just to say that I got that job because I went through the LSBU hub, and I actually applied for that. It's like 2 jobs. They help you, but you also help yourself. You also go through those steps. You also get to know what the services the university are offering for you. And this is very, very important, because at LSBU, they don't only focus on you getting through your academics grades and getting a degree, but they also look after you. They want to know what you want to do after. And because of that, I had like a list of jobs that I wanted to apply, or any job that was relevant to chemical engineering. So for example, as a chemical engineering, you can go through, you can work in pharmacy, you can go for food and drink, you can go for oil industry. So there is like a lot of range. It is a big range. And when you organize yourself to say, okay, so what are my chances here? What do I have in the plate? What can I do? And then after organizing all this list, I was looking for, because I was an international student at the time, I had to look for companies that would sponsor me, not just a company that you will go to get the experience, but a company that will also support you when you need it. Because there is a lot of companies, they will hire you, they will get you there, they will keep you, oh, we love your job. And then when you go to ask, oh, I also need a sponsorship to continue here, they will be like, oh, wait, we don't offer this here, because it's quite a long process. But at this company, they also gave me the opportunity. They said, okay, we will also sponsor you, because after, not the first year, take some time. Second year was like, oh, well, I have this situation, I'm an international student. After this, I will need to be sponsored to be able to stay in the UK, and I love this job. You say about the job, you say how much you are enthusiastic about the job, how much you gave to this company as well. It's not like, okay, you always come late and it's like, oh, I need a sponsorship. No, it's not gonna work. It's the same with the teachers. If you are not in the class, and then at the end it's like, oh, please teacher, help me. It's like, oh, well, let me think about it. They know better. But well, this is just to say that if you are really into what you need to be, where you need to be, if you are really into looking beyond, not just the academics, but looking for a career in chemical engineering, looking for something above, not just finishing the degrees, getting the grades, but also, which this is very important, your grades, but also to get into the career side, you really, really need to look for those foundations of organizing your CV. And just to make a comment on here is like, those days people asked me to help them with the CV, and all I did was coming to LSBU Hub, and they would show me, I don't know if they changed the name now, but back in the days it was LSBU Hub.
Career Hub.
Career Hub.
So
yes.
it is still a hub.
Oh yes, that's good, thank you. So because of that, they helped me so much. I could change my CVs, and not just that, but all the events they organized, I was also there to try to see what else, what more they have for me. And well, after my master degree, which we took longer because of the COVID, and we had to study online and all those situations. I just skipping this part. I had a good time. We had a good time to prepare, and I had to do a dissertation to prepare the dissertation. And after I finished my master degree and I didn't have any commitment with the academic wise, I had a meeting with my boss. Guys, it's always good, get a plan, prepare your plan, know your foundation, know where you want to get, and have an idea of what's out there. Don't just be like, oh, I'm here and I'm just gonna study. No, have a plan. Think, okay, this is chemical engineering. I can do what is my passion, what I want to do, and then make your plan. And after I finished my master, I went to my boss and said, look, well, my visa is expiring because of the study was almost at the end. And I was like, well, what the company can offer me at that point. And then they said, oh yes, we will support you, we are here if you need. And then they gave me a promotion to work full-time after this part-time period. And this is just to tell you that I had to contact them. I had to tell them this was my situation. I had to go to my boss and say, this is how it works. He would not call me and tell me, okay, how are you today? You need anything? No, you need to go after that. So yes, I did it. They gave me the sponsorship, and I'm still there till today. But although I'm quite in a comfortable place right now, I don't know if I said where I work. Well, I work at Thames Distillers, which is a manufacturing place. We do distilled drinks, which is gin. We do wine. We produce wine. We produce gin. We produce Vermouth. We produce quite distilled drinks, basically. And I work in the lab and in the manufacturing area. So from the sample of building up how you get to the, well, how you really produce, but from a small scale to bigger scale, like big production, producing 10,000 liters of gin, of liqueur, hotel chocolate. I don't know, you guys know that hotel chocolate, producing all those drinks. And well, it's very exciting, I must say, because you get to produce a lot of different products. It's not just one. Today, if you need to find the alcohol, ABV, by distillation, tomorrow it will be using a hydrometer or equipment. So it's always different. You have the chance to really do different things all the time. And once I finished my master degree, I also want to mention that, which was really new for me. LSBU called me. They called me, they said, oh, hi, we see that you finished your degree. Is everything okay? Are you working at the moment? What are you doing? Because they were calling us to see if everything is going fine and to find a job for us. I mean, what else can I ask? You see, it's like they really look after you. And my first year at LSBU, one of the things that was new for me, because I came from Angola to the UK, is that there is, I don't know if there is now, but there is a personal portfolio that they help you to create. And one of the things that I really added that was the IChemie membership. I got into the IChemie membership. I just got to know the IChemie membership because of that, because of those programs at uni. Otherwise, I wouldn't know. So I got into the IChemie membership, Food and Drink SIG, which is a group. We have a lot of meetings. We have we need to prepare the reports, minutes, and I was a webmaster at the time. I was helping with the website, uploading things related to my group, related to my SIG in the website. And this was one of the things that I also added to my CV. And those are the points that you will get from uni. You will get a lot of sites, but at some point you will need to sit down and organize yourself to know which area you're gonna really keep focusing on. If it's oil industry, if it's design and practice, there is a lot of, this is good about this is the one thing good about chemical engineering. We are not just in one area. We can actually go around, we can do a lot of things and help the world, and help with the carbon footprint, and help with the net zero. So there is quite a few places to go. And to finalize, I will say, have a plan, know what you want to do. At the beginning, it won't be easy because it's still fresh. Maybe you don't have a, let's say you don't have an area exactly, and you will get to see a lot of things, but really get into a plan and write it down. Write down what you want to go, write down where you are at now, prepare a list, and make sure you stick to the plan. It's not like you have in chemical engineering and then you see petroleum engineering, then you say, oh wait, no, I'm gonna change now, like after 4 years. So you can change, of course, but make sure you really focus on what you want and what you really need. Okay, if you have exams, you focus on your exams because you know you will get something from that. So yeah, if you have any more questions, we will be answering at the end. So thank you so much. Hopefully you get something from that.
Thank you. And then last but not least,
thank you, Sarah. Thank you very much. It's really, it's like not easy but very beautiful journey. Yeah, well done, you both. Yeah, very jealous. Okay. Right. So actually, you two one start from 2015 and the other one from 2017, right? So I started earlier than you both, to be honest. I started, at IRSVU from 2014. So, right, my name is Zhen Lu. So I'm now working as a teaching assistant at Chemical Energy and Engineering Division. And I started my bachelor degree. So I started my bachelor degree at IRSVU, and then after that, I escaped the master degree. So I jumped to the PhD because I did first degree and I found a very nice PhD tutor and they accepted me my proposal. So I did that, and it was very hard, without the master. So I don't recommend to do that because 1 year master at IRSVU, after I joined. I started my PhD, I realized, I missed so much, from that 1 year master course. Actually, it can taught you a lot, for help you to get into research. So basically, my first year of my PhD, I spent like way more time, to recap what I missed from the master, to be honest. But yeah, did well with my supervisors. So I'm going to talk about a little bit of my PhD research, and then my also I had a research fellow time at IRSVU as well. Then my teaching activities, right? Okay, so like I said, so I finished my bachelor degree at 2016. That's another story, to be honest. I only did 2 years at IRSVU because I did another 2 years in another country, and then some political problem happened. So I applied to the university at UK. My bachelor degree is in petroleum engineering. So I think at that time only 5 universities doing this course, and I got an offer from Manchester University, but they asked me to start from first year, and IRSVU very kindly offered me to start from second year because they compared with, I sent them my script, everything, and they compared, they say, okay, you can start from second year. Then why not? I save 1 year of my life. Then I did that. So after this, I started my PhD because during the course, I found quite interested in the tertiary oil recovery. So that's a term called enhanced oil recovery. And we have a very nice tutor who helped me with that. Also from 2016, I joined the Nano 2D lab, which also is a research lab in a research group in our division. In 2017, so that would be my second year of my PhD, I become a visiting researcher at Open University. So that's also amazing. Basically, is the university provide me this opportunity. You can collaborate with other universities using their equipment, and also you can put in your CV like you working at 2 different academic academic industries, something like that. Yeah. So in academic institutions. Sorry, it's my English. Okay. And then so at 2021, that will be my last year of my PhD. I started to be a research fellow, because at that time I finished all my lab work and I started writing up. I had some time, to think something else. Basically, as you all know, right? So this is my topic. It's the investigation of nanoparticles in enhanced oil recovery, and my lovely supervisor, Dr. Pedro Diaz, and also Dr. Suela Kechi, which is also the leader of the Nano2D lab. As you know, back in 2014, right, when we talk about energy, now you see our division is chemical energy engineering, but back in 2014, when we talk about energy, you think about petroleum, you think about gasoline, right? But now, when we talk about energy, is the solar cells, batteries, right? It's different word, okay? So this picture is just all about my research. Actually, this is also another good thing about RSVU. RSVU have we have a research summer school, and in there they organize all different challenges, events, topics. This is called 3 minutes presentation. So basically, I ask all the researchers to summarize their research in 1 slide of presentation and use it just under 3 minutes. So I use this for all 5 years of my research life. Basically, the giant rock is the ground we stand on, right? And all the vessels is the pores in the rocks, and the blood is the oil. So I use that to demonstrate how we recover oil. So it's like you step on the vessel, it's a bit bloody, sorry. So we have nature pressure from our body, from the earth, so the oil come out, right, instantly. Then when the pressure is drained, right, we inject, we create another hole, inject the water in there to push out, to drive the oil out, right? So that's the secondary recovery. And when we don't have any more oil come out, what we do, we use surfactant, also in another term, soap. So we use soap. And my topic is how to make the soap as small as possible, because we know you grind it, have more surface area, they can be more reactive, they have more contact, they can have more ability to contact with the oil to react. And this is the, it's in the borrowed basement. We have, collaborate with the mechanical engineering technicians. It's brilliant. So basically I can bring, you see here, from this blurry image to that good image as well. And there's another good thing is, through the university, right? Because me as a person, I design something, it's sometimes maybe it's hard for you, to talk with the industry. I developed this. Can you support me on the software wise, right? It's like you have this device, but you need to use that device to have a communication with the PC, right? To generate some results. And so I managed it through RSVU. I showcased my design to this company, the first storm angle, and they say this is brilliant. So we can give you our software, and as a trial, you try on your device, and then I tried it. It's very good. It's compatible with my device, and then I can use that to generate some it's like publishable data, right? Rather than just use your phone, take photos stuff. That's another benefit, right? So this is the final one, the final design. And also the other thing during my PhD, which I'm very proud of, is this big centrifuge. So when you see all those sci-fi, movies like I don't know, it's the Invisible Man, these Marvel movies. When you look at, in some high top level research institution or top level research labs, or in the very good hospital, right? In the biomedical sectors, you always see they use the centrifugation, right? Spinning, and then they take a small tube, and on top you have the supernatant, right? This is like when we think about the science industry, the first image I think it's about the centrifuge. At least it's the Hollywood, the producers, they think it's about that. So actually, I got a chance to use this one. This one, the difference is massive. They can dealing with like a kilos of the tubes, right? The metal one. So when we operate that, and this operating like for a week, like spinning for a week with different rotation speed. And there's a lot of stuff involved in there. You need to make everything balanced, otherwise, it's spinning like 1,000 RPMs per minute, right? It's like if it's not balanced, it's wiggling, and the stuff will like bullets, shooting off, right? And also this, because it's running for longer time, you have the coolant in there. Just a lot of stuff you need to study, and so once I got a good, experience with that, then it's like just make my CV, much stronger, right? So I can show them I know how to use this device, and this is like very complex, very dangerous, but I can manage it. Yeah, just all those. So basically, what I really like RSPU is, it's as a student, you do have a lot of chance to do the hands-on stuff, right? You have the labs and stuff. Like Maria's course, right? When I was doing my my bachelor degree, so I was like study with Maria was doing the practice course, right? So I have the chance to do this calorie bomb, right? The heat exchange, absorbers, titrations, all those basic engineering, like skills. You develop that, and now I'm doing teaching. So you see, my background is petroleum, and then my PhD is about more like chemistry, chemical engineering. But now I'm doing teaching. I'm teaching the thermodynamics, and thanks to Anna, because when I was during my bachelor degree, you did that to me. You taught the thermodynamics, and I got like 97 out of 100, I believe.
Really?
So now I'm able to teach the thermodynamics to the students. And also it's I also teach the engineering science. So in there we have the physical part, like the momentum, right? The velocity, right? The viscosity, all those. That's thanks for Maria. So during her course, I did all those. We mix the mud, using the mud to pass through the funnel to study the viscosity, right? To do the to obtain all those data, and then using the formulas to convert it to viscosity, right? All those stuff. So I'm able to do a lot of stuff. So basically, when I finished my PhD, right, and I finished my this is another thing. When I finished my PhD, finished my research assistant career, then RSPU had this. I searched on the opportunities from RSPU jobs.rspu.com, and we have this teaching assistant role, and I checked it. I thought, okay, so it's not only it is like I said, okay, so basically my development can fully cover all those topics, and then I took it. And after I took an interview and I got the job, and then I say, okay, I'm going to do the engineering science. I thought about that. Okay, I learned that during my bachelor, and also these skills were developed during my PhD. So it's like developed more during my PhD, because during your PhD you do a lot of stuff. You read a lot of articles, and then you found you have a limit of knowledge, and you go find the engineering white book, handbook, and everything. You read it. So I said, okay, that's good. So basically, I can do all of this, and that's all thanks to the engineering course. It's like very well course. Yeah. And also this is another thing, is cold flooding. So from my study. So in this you study the pressure, and also you're monitoring the water and the oil level. So that's the talk about the surface energy between different liquid, and there's a lot of stuff involved in there as well. And also all those data was like collected from the PC, and during my PhD I was like, it's kind of like you spend 1 day doing an experiment and spend another 3 days cleaning, fixing, and take apart all the pipes, clean them, and put them back, and find any leakage, and you monitor the pressure to see if abnormal pressure, that means leakage somewhere. So it's just like you fully developed, during your course. I think if you do master, you'll possibly have chance to use those centrifugations, cold floodings, and also that device, the device to study surface energy. So okay, and those you see from my PhD, this like kind of artwork. So you see all those lines. That's actually the structures of carbons, structures of titanium dioxide, right? You see really deep, and normally you don't see in your normal life, right? And I'm very proud of it. And X-ray, XPS data and XRD data. Yeah, for the XRD, to be honest, when I did this, normally you spend one day in that room doing that, and you need to monitor how many hours you were exposure to X-ray. Then the next day you say, okay, so this month gone. So because every month you have a limitation of the time you expose to X-rays, right? So that's also another thing, right? It just make you a different person, right? Okay, so after that, after my PhD, and I started as a research fellow. We have a project called ISOPrep. It's like 66.3 million euros. It's like a European funding research project, and that's another thing. You basically, you see, my background is petroleum, but this one is called ISOPrep. So the ISOPrep is actually come from the isopropylene. So it's a plastic, it's a polymer. So we do the recycle of the polymer. And imagine that's amazing, because how I come from petroleum background and do the plastic recycling, right? It's like completely different topic. That was me, was like introduce this our topics to the young students, right, from school during the open days. And from here, you see, I developed my lab scale, and also I do the analysis of the feedstocks. It's completely different from what you do in the lab, because you collaborate with industries. They give you real products, from the waste plastics, and you do the analysis of that. And because you need to purify them, it's like everything is messed up, and it's different from the lab. Everything is clean and well prepared. So that's quite nice experience as well. And also I got a chance to collaborate with 9 different members all across Europe. I was from Turkey. So that's a good thing, you study in UK, to be honest. You have multicultural stuff here, right? You develop yourself. Okay, and I got a chance to have my publications. That's also a good thing. And for my teaching activities, the students.
And then you can just ask questions. Wire questions. Not ask for jobs, but how to get a job.
You got a big chance. That's how it is. First question, what's the name of your bird?
So how many of you are part of the ICME?
So, okay. So have you applied to the student membership?
And you check all the events that you can be online. I enrolled on some of them. I think I put the links, so they are really, really good one coming.
Because it's also part of design and practice, and when you meet your tutors, that they inform you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's good. So, well, all yours. You have any questions? Yeah?
I promise you, they don't bite. You have a safe distance. Okay? And if they do, I'm going to sit in between, like this.
Mm-hmm. Yes?
At that point, did you keep any relevant work experience on your CV, or did you just put like your personal statement, what you did at LSB, and then that was it? Or did you put like, I don't know, like say if you're a waitress, would you put that on there whilst like applying for jobs in the future? Would you take that on?
Well, at the beginning, I put everything, but after LSB reviewed and everything, I was more specific to my area of interest. So I had 2 CVs, basically. One more specific for the area you want to go in. So if you will do internship, if you will do any sandwich year, or if you are looking for a job in between related to what you are studying, yes. But then it's also like, okay, let's get ready, let's be prepared to anything that comes. So you also have your general, but it's always good to have like your focused CV, which is related to your area. So I had 2.
Thank you.
I have a question for like all 3 of you. Is it a good idea to take a placement year, or should we just?
Sorry, say that again?
Is it a good idea to take a placement year?
Yeah, 100%. Like if I would go back to even when I did my bachelor, I even would go down the route of doing like an apprentice, and at the same time with uni, like it works really well. Because some things that you find in the industry, when you don't go through the academic route, you go through like the industry, you will find like there is a lot of people that has been doing that job for 30, 40 years, and they have some relevant experience that you might not know through the academic field. So it's always good to have like a balance of what you're doing academically and the industry as well. So definitely, if you have the opportunity, it's something like, personally, I will 100% recommend.
I have a placement year for my thing, but how would I go about finding somewhere to do that placement year, and which year is it in? I don't even know. I'll be wrong.
Is this after second?
After second year,
After
yeah, but
second year.
after second year, but you need to apply during the summer after you finish this summer, yeah.
Apply this on
Yeah,
March,
because
yeah.
the application opened from September to, and they close in January, so you have to really be
How would I go about
looking.
finding placements
Yeah.
for that?
I will, sorry, you guys. I will suggest like you guys have great tools like LinkedIn, or like for me, LinkedIn is a powerful tool. Like if you go and message, or first find like 50 HR persons who work in the industry that you would like to go, and then you message them and say like, hello, I'm an LSB student and I'm on my second year and I'm happy, like I'm finding, or I'm looking for a placement. Do you guys have any? And I'm sure if you send like 50 or 55 messages, at least 2 or 3 will answer to you. And they're very like, all my jobs I have found it through LinkedIn. Like it's literally a message on my inbox saying like, this is an opportunity, are you happy to have it or not? Like it's not a fake thing anymore. Like it's not like you can actually, it's legit and it's very open and people use that tool for it and all that. So that would be my suggestion, is if you want to find a placement, maybe if the uni doesn't have what you're looking, just try different tools. Great.
Yeah, again, I would say the LSBU Career Hub. We normally used to have, I don't know, once a year, career in engineering career events, the fair, and they normally have a lot of opportunities there. People from BP would come, they would tell you about shadow opportunity. So it's just be aware and be ready with your CV too. Yeah.
How was the job experience was different, like when you were like student and you're working here, it's all like related to chemical engineering or petroleum engineering or mechanical engineering that you're studying, and like when you go to the industry like directly to start your job or internship or whatever the thing that you guys are starting, like it's quite different compared to like you're like reading and you're like learning but industrially you're like, you know, facing it directly. So how was it, like, you know, was it difficult to learn, or was there someone else who guided you, or was there some other opportunities by which, like, you learned a lot of this stuff?
Oh yeah, I can answer that, to be honest. Yeah. So basically, to be honest, you know, when you study at university, right? Like, do you think like you're learning a lot from the lectures? Really? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Right? What happens is the lecture, you know, during the lecture, from my experience, I'm not talking about others, because we do have very good lectures, you know, they can teach very good stuff and like put all the knowledge in your brain. But for myself, is like as a student, also as a, you know, a lecturer. So I found during the lecture, basically I would just give a guideline, right, a skeleton of the knowledge, and you really develop yourself is through what? Through the courseworks, right? The team coursework, the sole coursework, right? And exams, all those stuff. So literally you spend like every week for each course, like module, you do like 2 hours lecture, and the rest of time you do self-study, self-reading. You Google, right? You go Google Scholar, you search it, right? Google Books, you check all those stuff, go to library, right? And also maybe most of the time you're not doing that, but before the deadline, it's like you do all the research, like massive, like everything boost. Then, you know, you develop your skill of study, right? And then when you go to an industry, or you find any job, right? Any job, then they will give you training at the beginning, right? And you will have someone you work with, right? It's like someone older than you, some senior, right? You work with them, and then maybe it's like the topic is completely different, but you still find yourself, because you will be trained at your university, right? You can fit yourself in very quickly if you know, a good student, right? Or even you're just a normal student. You know, you can fit yourself in easily, especially you're doing this, you know, you're doing the engineering course and you find an engineering job, right? You won't say much different, because in the work, when you study different, you know, topics, knowledge, and to be honest, when you in your work, it's more straightforward. You have your task, right? It's like direct line.
Yeah.
You just need to remember what you did for your coursework. You attend the lecture, maybe you didn't realize, right, in the lecture, you going back, there's nothing you take back home. But before the deadline of your courseworks, everything comes to your brain, right? So that's my experience, to be honest. Yeah, don't know if that helps.
Yeah, again, is at uni, for example, I learned a lot of. I learned HISIS, I had MATLAB, we had 360 Fusion, we had quite a few things, but at the end of the day, you might not use all of it when you get to work. It depends where you're gonna work, if it's like big companies, small companies, because sometimes small companies, they don't want to have those big softwares because they really don't need it, so you might use it, you might not use it. At the end of the day, we get to see a lot of things. As he said, you will see a lot, but it will depend on where you're gonna go. Yeah, and it's always good to understand a bit of everything. And when you apply for a job, in your CV, you make sure you highlight those points, and you also look at the job description. If they say, oh, we need someone that deals with MATLAB, or you make sure you highlight this part, so it's real clear that you have the skills. So you use the right terms, right skills in that CV for that. Yeah.
And also, when you start in the industry, the first you're gonna encounter is fear. Like, it's no matter how good you've been as a student, you will find fear of taking decisions, because that's a real world. So something very good is your line manager. Like, make sure to have a line manager which eliminate that fear out of you and actually let you do the stuff, but he will be accountable if you make any mistakes because you're learning. What happened in so many industries, like they try to like blame the new people and they don't eliminate this kind of fear, and then you start seeing all these youngsters just like get even worse. So your line manager, or if you can have a mentor inside the company as well, that's very important. He will let you take any decision, well, not any, but up to your level, take any decisions, but he will be accountable of anything if happens wrong, because that's the way to learn and to start being confident on taking big decisions up to you were growing in your industry.
Yeah. Can you provide advice on gaining practical experience or internship during the course of study?
In what? So I didn't understand the question.
Any advice on gaining practical, experience or internship?
Yeah, well, yeah. As I said, like internship, it's really important. Like,
yeah, he's trying to say, like, do you have any advice on, like, can he do anything practical within his academic year, like while he's studying, like let's say second year at chemical engineering, he wants to do something at the same time as doing that, something practical.
He wants to work as well. Like, can we do that? Like, while we are studying and while we are working.
Well, when you do it, for example, I did my degree part-time and I was like working and studying at the same time. So there's a lot of companies which are very open to. They were always giving me Wednesday, I think it was free to come to uni, while the rest of the day I was working. So they're always like open to do that. Even if you want to do it just for 6 months or something like that you can do it as well. So yeah, if you go down the route of part-time, and it's great too, and you can always do it.
So you can do placement and part-time at the same time?
Yeah, of course, yeah, you can do both. Yeah.
You want to comment something?
Sorry?
You want to say something like?
Yeah, of course. I also have questions, and maybe I will also talk a little bit about ICME. You said
Yes, that would be good. That would be
actually
good.
Members of the ICME, so I can maybe give you a little bit of practical things as well. It's funny this format of this event, because we actually organize with the London and South East members, the young members forum. We organize something called Industry Insights, which is basically exactly this. Basically, we invite people from industry, maybe from academia as well. I gave one of the talks the other day about academia myself, because I'm an academic, and it's always good to have these both sides of the story. Sometimes people cross bridges between academia and industry, which is I think becoming more and more separated, if you wish. So maybe my first question will be actually to the academic, if you actually regret a little bit not going into the industry route, and I will also ask the same question for the guys from industry, if you kind of have that feeling that maybe one day you will think you will be useful to come into academia and you miss this environment.
Yeah, I think that this question, I'm to be honest, during my PhD, I faced to a lot of this kind of question, right? They asked me, so what's your next? Do you want to stay in academia or you want to go to industry, right? So for me, I do have a big taste of what industry life is during that, the research project as a prep. So I just felt like, if am I going to like search for industry job? The answer is no, I'm not. But if somebody gave that to me, I'm quite happy to take the challenge. I think.
So if they come to your house, they knock your door.
Not really, no, not really. That never happened, I believe. Yeah, that would be like a miracle. Yeah, I'm confident to take the industry job, right? To make it good, but at this stage, I don't regret I didn't do any industry job. I think I will, because I'm still very curious about my research topics and stuff. I still want to develop on that bit. And in future, yes, of course, in future, when I think my research, I want to apply that into the industry, or I just want to, or maybe it's ideal cases I can test my topics in the industry, but most of the cases I don't think so. So that still, I mean, I can test my knowledge in industry and to make another, to contribute in a different aspect, right? Yeah, something like this.
How about you guys?
I will go down the route of like self-awareness. So like, like you have to be self-aware what you're good at and what do you want as well in your career life. So for me, it's not more like this or this. It's more like this and this. For example, I'm working in construction industry, which is the percentage of academia is 2%, 3% people that come from uni. 85% or 90%, it's just been on the tools for 30 years and they have just made themselves up to managers, MD, directors, all this. So, but then me, that I have a bit of like a 50-50, it's been interesting because I have been able to challenge them sometimes in things. At the same time, they have been able to challenge me in things. So for me, I'm more in a world of 50-50. Like I would not regret going through academia and I would not regret just continuing in industry. So I think it's just work the perfect balance for any industry. Like keeping yourself updated with any research. If you have opportunity to keep doing courses or everything, that's fine. And getting involved in the industry, like actually hands-on on what's going on and doing it practical. It is actually feasible to do it. It's actually this, and being actual with your proper eyes, like what's happening out there. So for me, it's more like a balance than regrets.
I mean, myself, if I could, I would go for PhD because it's a very honorable for me in my country. It's like, hey, you have a PhD, so it's really, and when I heard our colleague here, it was like, wow, PhD, you really have the knowledge, you really understand, you really go deep into a subject. It was really, really interesting. So this is what makes me think, oh, I want to do a PhD one day. But right now I would say we need to put the food in the table. We need to make sure we also don't.
Okay, so that's a very good point because there's obviously the belief always that industry pays much better than academia.
Oh yes.
And when you say put the food on the table, is basically
about
salary and
they pay better, yeah.
And getting a career in academia at the beginning, especially, is quite difficult in terms of getting paid. It's very vocational, so you have to want that. Yeah. Okay. All right, thank you. So maybe in the meantime that people get the pizza, I will just prepare myself.
Yeah, that's good.
And in a more relaxed environment, I can tell you a little bit of what I can eat after.
Yeah, perfect. So, thank you so much. That was really, really good. Thank you. So let's have some pizza. I don't know whether it's enough. So,
you guys have any other questions?
I don't want to take anything home, so I'd rather that
you had another question, yeah?
So can you?
10.
Oh, hi, yeah.
So you have pizza.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was really good.
Epá, pessoal, o meeting já terminou. Recebi este presentinho aqui. Ai, ai, ai. Prontos, pá. Tá a ver aqui? Vamos aqui trabalhar.